I'm Jade, and this video is about Marx's 4 types of alienation. To talk about Marx's 4 types of alienation, we have to first define the term alienation, as well as the term objectification. Objectification refers to Marx's concept or idea that human beings are corporal beings that are created, recreated and known through collective human labor, and the historical and social production of humans and by humans. Essentially what this means is because human beings are the only beings that mediate their relationship to the natural world through labor. So for example, we go to work and get paid in order to buy the things that we need to essentially live. So we use the money we get paid to buy shelter, water, and food. This means that labor, for Marx, is a defining characteristic of human consciousness. So basically, human consciousness is different from animalistic instincts because we perform labor. And through labor, we confirm human consciousness as such. Alienation, in contrast, refers to situations in which humans are unable to understand this process of objectification, the objectification of human consciousness, as the objectification of human consciousness. In other words, alienation is when human beings are unable to confirm their consciousness, are unable to self-actualize through the process of labor. So the products of their labor aren't an expression of themselves as individuals, but are an alien product. So we can break down Marx's really complex ideas into 5 types of alienation. The first type of alienation is alienation from the process of production. In capitalism, labor is often broken down and micromanaged. So it's broken down into a bunch of steps, like a clog in a machine. This is especially true for manual labor and factory labor, but increasingly true for white-collar labor and professional jobs. So for example, when we make clothes, it's not usually done by a seamstress who loves their job and is expressing their creative skills, but instead it's often done by child or cheap labor. And the process by which the shirt is made is often very standardized. Every step of the process is dictated and micromanaged, and often there are multiple shirts that are made in the exact same way and that look the exact same. Similarly, if we're alienated from the process of production, we're also alienated from the products of production. So the second type of alienation is alienation from the products of our labor. This is alienation in 2 ways. So first of all, we're alienated in a literal sense because we often don't see the products of our labor. So the person making the standardized shirts doesn't actually see the shirt being sold at Walmart, for example. We can also think of the concept of McDonaldization that I talked about a couple weeks ago, and how, for example, the person that dresses the burger doesn't actually see the final product of the burger. Someone completely different bags the burger and gives it to the customer. This is because they're just one step in the efficient, standardized process of producing something. There's also a more profound element of alienation here. So if labor is the process by which human beings become objectified as human beings, then the products of their labor should be an expression of themselves, a way that they self-actualize. However, in capitalism, the product of labor is capital. The point of performing labor is to produce money. Also, the point is to actually make money for the owners of production. So the product and the process of labor in capitalism is always alienated. The third type of alienation is that people are alienated from themselves. Since our labor, so the process by which we become objectified, is owned by someone else, it's owned by the owners of production, then we as workers are kind of alienated from ourselves as well. And this is because the ways by which we express ourselves is controlled and owned by an external and alien force. In other words, we work to live and live to work. Similarly, we're also alienated from others. So the 4th type of alienation is that we're alienated from other workers or other people. We're alienated from others because we're all separate cogs in the overarching machine that we're all a part of. The burger dresser, for example, and the burger bagger, or the person giving the burger to the customer, they do separate jobs in different steps of the process of production. Again, they only work together in the sense that they are both cogs in the machine. Similarly, the laborers and the owners of production are alienated from one another because the owners of production own the labor of the workers, and also the owners of production exploit the workers in order to make money. The last type of alienation is alienation from species being. And this is kind of connected to all the other ones because it's related to Marx's premise of objectification. So since labor is the means by which human beings become human beings, so the way that they express and confirm human consciousness, the product of their labor should therefore be an expression of themselves, a form of self-actualization. So since both the product and the process of labor is alienation and exploitation, human beings are unable to self-actualize. And humanity's essential powers are not objectified through the process of labor within capitalism. In other words, we're alienated from what makes human beings human beings. Again, we live to work and work to live. So that was my introductory video on Marx's concept of alienation. If you like my video, please give it a like, and if you want to see similar videos, please subscribe to my channel. Namaste!